Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for a new live stream, something a bit different than the usual. It's not the usual news or rumors recap that we do on a daily basis, but we have something different today. It's sort of an interview with the Milan Club Montreal President, Marcello Furgiuele. It is his debut on Rossoneri TV, so everyone watching, please give him a warm welcome. But we will be discussing a few things. Like I said, we usually don't do these types of videos on Rossoneri TV, but we like to bring some diversity to the channel to speak about different topics that many times it goes a bit unnoticed with certain fans. The scope of this video is to mention really the limited content for Milan fans abroad, and Marcello will soon touch upon different topics and what we mean by that. And of course, this refers to various things such as Rai International, which probably a lot of you guys have since you live outside of Italy. Also Milan TV and its distribution on only national grounds, that is on in Italy and not outside of Italy, amongst other little topics that it's good to share about. And we're gonna formulate some sort of discussion between us and you guys that are watching. So within this discussion video, make sure to leave your comments as well in the live stream chat so that we know exactly what you guys think about the whole situation. Of course, there will be a question and answer period with Marcello, which is very, very close with, at least he's had very close contacts with representatives from Italy, from Rai, etc. I'm pretty sure if you guys are following us on Twitter, you probably already heard about a lot of these things, but it's good to clarify certain points and what exactly, where exactly we stand on right now. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to the Milan Club President, Marcello. Marcello, it is an honor to have you finally on Rossoneri TV. I think it was a bit overdue. How are you today?
Doing well, Gio. Thanks for having me, and it's an honor to finally be on your channel. It's long overdue, but better late than never, as they say.
Exactly. So we have quite a few things to talk about today. Like I mentioned before, we really want to give the fans an overview of what's happening in terms of the content that is being distributed to them around the world. And at the moment, Marcello, I think we could all agree that most people are following Milan on the Rai International, at least for those of you that have the channel. And if not, you guys are probably doing it through the illegal streaming ways, which unfortunately in 2017 we shouldn't be going down that road with all the technology that's there. But it seems that it's not only Milan the problem, but more of a national problem really in Italy. Marcello, could you elaborate a bit more on this thing?
Sure, absolutely. So the way it works, in case some of the listeners are not aware, Serie A is the, let's say, the content provider of the games. And rather than do all the legwork themselves in terms of distribution and selling the broadcasting rights, they hired an agency called Infront, which went ahead on behalf of Serie A to go and sell the bidding to determine who is going to be the exclusive provider of these matches. And the past few years, it was the agency MP and Silva that won the rights to broadcast Serie A matches abroad. So what MP Silva does, they pay a fee to acquire the rights, and then they do all the hard work in terms of going to each country one by one and all the different television providers to try to sell the rights for a profit. So for example, in North America, they would approach Rai Italia to acquire the rights to broadcast the games in Italian. And at the same time, they also sold the rights to BN Sports to broadcast Serie A matches in English. Now, BN Sports is a channel you have to subscribe to, and it's not easily available. And I don't know in the United States how much it is, but in Canada right now you have to pay $16 a month. And they broadcast Serie A matches and also La Liga and other matches as well. I don't have the channel, so I can't really talk about what other content they have, but just to give the viewers an idea, like those are the choices and how the distribution works. So now the problem is when it comes to outside of Italy, we're limited as Milanistas in terms of the different choices that are out there and the different opportunities there are to watch other content other than the games. And that was the whole point of when I wrote that letter, which was published on Milan News and also on the Milan Bros website in English. I did one in Italian, one in English. Is we reached a point now with technology. We're in 2017, and I think it's not that expensive to give the fans the opportunity to watch Milan games and the content when we want, how we want. That's the push that we want to get to. It'll take time, but I think with social media, if we get enough of the fans to raise their voices, I'm sure we can influence the new ownership to do something about this.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys, like I said before, if you guys were following us on Twitter, you were probably aware of the petition that Marcello actually initiated in order to give a message to Rai that, you know, it is 2017 and it's time to watch the content at least in HD, because let's be honest, Rai Italia, it's not like they show bad content. At least we have some sort of opportunity to really watch Serie A matches abroad. That is something already, but we want to go a step further. It's been years that Rai Italia really existed in Canada and across the world, and yet, you know, it is 2017 and we don't have that opportunity to watch a channel in HD. You guys, like I said, you probably have the channel, you're probably very frustrated. You can't even see the ball sometimes. Either the audio's off or the video's off. There's always problems with the channel, there's always problems with the games. And really, we need to get this message abroad, because if nothing is being done about it, and no one's speaking anything about it, you know, these guys will continue to think that everything is fine. The people abroad are fine with this limited access that they have, not only to the channel, but like you mentioned, Marcello, you know, it is a day and age in which at least applications are used very frequently on smartphones or whatever. But there's also the Rai TV portal, if I'm not mistaken, in Italy, which fans abroad are not entitled to.
Yeah, that's correct. They do have some content that's available online. And again, it's this old way of thinking in terms of rights of distributing and broadcasting content in Italy versus doing it abroad. Call it red tape, call it whatever you want. It's very frustrating, because in the past that's the way it used to be, but I don't think it should be like that anymore. There should be ways to make things easier. And the issue is not only with Rai Italia, which for us, we focused a little more on that because we enjoy watching the games with Italian commentary, but there are people that are not native speakers of the language and will watch soccer in English on BN Sports. So, but even there, what I do find there's a problem is in terms of the model. If you take it from Serie A's perspective, they want to make sure to have as many eyeballs on the screen watching the games. When you decide to broadcast the games on a channel that someone has to pay $16 a month, you already shrunk the viewer pool, because I would say maybe the really hardcore fans are willing to spend that money per month for the channel. But the opportunity they miss is to get the casual fans. I'll give you an example. I follow Serie A and Champions League, but I'm not a big fan of La Liga or BPL or the German league. But if a Saturday afternoon I have nothing else better to do, I'm switching the channels and I catch Barcelona playing, I don't know, Sevilla, for example. I wouldn't have paid to watch that game. But had it been available on TV for free, it would have piqued my interest. And as a casual fan of La Liga, I would have probably watched the game. But because you did not offer that opportunity to the casual fans, you lose out on that chance to get other people to watch your games. So that's where I don't like the current model. You
Yeah.
limit the. So if I look at it from Serie A's perspective, you have the hardcore calcio fans who would have Rai or BN or both, but the casual ones who wouldn't pay for those channels, if you want them to watch your product, you're forcing them to watch it via illegal stream. And
Hmm.
that's where I find they went wrong in terms of the thinking and the strategy behind it. And it's only normal illegal streams have been growing, and there's hundreds of links that you can catch a game at today because the market is underserved.
Yeah, I completely agree there, Marcello. And it seems like some people, from what I'm reading in the comments, are actually having it worse than us. And what I mean by that is, for example, the BN Sports, like you said, in the Canada and the US goes, you said $16 a month?
In Canada, it's 16. In the US, I don't know
Okay.
how much it is, but I know in Canada it's $16.
Look, for example, some people in the UK, they're saying the matches are broadcasted on BT Sports, and there it is, £26 a month. That is just incredible. That I have no words for that. It's just ridiculous.
I didn't know. I know they're broadcast on BT Sport, but I never knew the cost. So,
Yeah,
and I don't know if BT Sport you're paying for one channel or you get like a group of channels. Like,
hmm
for example, us in Canada with TSN, you pay for TSN, but you get TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
that's the way
I
it
think it's
is.
along the same lines in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm not really aware of the situation there. But it just seems that it's not only a problem in North America, but it's all around the world in terms of the distribution rights and who gets what type of access really the fans have to these channels. But I wanted to speak about more towards Milan now because we did
Yes.
speak a lot in the general terms of Rai. We spoke about how they're lacking in technology and so forth. But let's focus on Milan now, Marcello, because
Yes.
I do understand that back in December, like you mentioned in your article, when the Italian Super Cup, this goes back with the Rai thing again, but back in the Super Cup, you were trying to get an answer for whether or not they were going to show the game, and they really didn't give you any answers. They weren't really customer friendly, or the customer relations were pretty poor with them.
Yeah, so let me explain what happened in that case. So,
Mm-hmm.
on the one hand, as I explained earlier, there was the MP Silva that acquired the rights to broadcast the games from the league. When it comes to the Super Coppa and the Coppa Italia, those rights were acquired by another company, which is called B4 Capital.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing like MP Silva. They acquire the rights to broadcast those games abroad. And the same thing like MP Silva, they have to go and try to sell it to as many countries and TV networks as possible. Unfortunately for us in Canada, they did not come to an agreement neither with Rai Italia or Mediaset Italia,
Mm-hmm.
which was the company that broadcast the games last year, if you recall.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
that's for the Italian commentary. On the English side, there was nothing whatsoever. Now, this year in the US, I know the Super Coppa was broadcast on Gold TV, which is a channel we no longer have in Canada. And the same for the Coppa Italia, I believe it's also broadcast on Gold TV. But if we have any of your viewers in the US that are listening right now, if they can confirm that for me and they have Gold TV, it would be nice if they could just give you a little comment to confirm that that's indeed the case.
Mm-hmm.
So again, here's another problem. If I'm putting myself in Serie A shoes, they need to have as many people viewing their matches in order to make the Serie A brand grow and have an appeal towards it. In Canada, we couldn't see neither the Coppa Italia or the Super Coppa, which is very unfortunate considering the large Italian community we have in our country. And I'm hoping in the future, Serie A puts its foot down and says, no, this is no longer acceptable. We sold you the rights, you acquired them, okay, you paid for them, but now you have a job to do, and we want to have as many of our fans watching the games. And the fact that it wasn't presented was very unfortunate. And the second point was, again, talking on the technology side, Gold TV is not a HD channel. So even though the rights were acquired in the US and someone has Gold TV, they can watch the games, it's not even in HD. So that's another thing we hope it changes in the future.
Yeah, I definitely hope so, because it's just ridiculous, really. What's the the lack of access that we have in 2017 is just
right. So now
ununderstandable.
one other topic I'd like to bring up is Milan TV, which I'm sure all diehard Milanistas living outside of Italy would love to have access to that channel, either online or on TV or both.
Yeah.
And it's rather unfortunate that we don't. I have made requests to get some answers as to why that's the case. Will they do something for us? And up to now, I haven't gotten any replies. But some folks that I did reach out to that are not directly involved with Milan TV but know about how this all works, they are all saying because Milan is for sale, a lot of projects are on hold till the closing is done. So let's cross our fingers if the sale is going to be closed on March 3rd or 4th and new ownership comes in with a new vision, a new way of doing things, we're going to push and knock on the door and ensure that we can watch Milan TV both online and on TV. And on a side note, in case some of the viewers are not aware, Roma TV is currently available outside of Italy. And you know what? It's free. Imagine that. Talk about a club that's progressive and thinking outside the box. Bravo to Roma for doing that for their fans.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Guys, teams like Roma, and if I'm not mistaken, Marcello, I remember in the summer, Fiorentina also have a TV, an online site, an online portal where you can watch. I'm not sure if you can watch the news or something, but what I remember from Fiorentina is that they were showing friendly matches on their site. I think it's Viola TV or something like that. But they were showing friendly matches in the last summer, and to me, it just boggles my mind as to why Fiorentina and Roma could get things like this done. And teams like Milan, I understand the whole thing with the ownership, the transfer of the ownership, and so forth. I just don't get it. I don't understand why a team like Milan, with such prestige in Europe and in the world, it's just like, for the fans out there, just the fans outside of Italy. I remember, by the way, just a side note, I remember going to Italy last summer. Of course, you guys might recall those videos. I was at my cousin's house and I was browsing through their TV guide, and just the fact of seeing, they didn't have this available, by the way. They didn't. You have to pay for the subscription in Italy, just the same for Milan TV. But just to see Milan TV on that TV guide, it like sparked something in me. I was like, wow, these guys have the opportunity to actually watch the official channel of AC Milan. Like, so lucky. And us outside of Italy, of course, have nothing to do right now. But like you said, I definitely hope that it's an option once the new ownership does take over, and it's something that needs to be done. You need to bring out your content to the larger public. A lot of people, I think this could even expand their fan base, of course. Lots of different factors.
But Gio, I just want to mention something. It's not a coincidence that Roma, currently owned by a majority of American investors, have that vision to take the cultural product and grow the brand outside of Italy. Whereas you look at Juventus, you look at Inter, you look at Milan, who are focused so much on just what goes on in Italy.
Yeah.
They do lip service in terms of what they do for marketing abroad. I'll give you an example. Every summer, we have the International Champions Cup,
Mm-hmm.
in which that organization that runs it tries to get the best clubs in Europe in a mini tournament, and they have these friendly matches. For them, that's like what they think is marketing abroad, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. You'll have games in the United States. They played in St. Louis. They played in California. They went to Minneapolis or Chicago, I believe. So anyway, it is a bit of marketing. However, I still think there's more that could be done. And there was even a study that I read a few weeks ago that proved, in terms of the growth potential for a club, in terms of percentage wise, anyway, of what they can go get in terms of market share and things like that, it's been proven it's more internationally than it would be domestically.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to think, in Italy, soccer is saturated. It's soccer 24/7 in Italy, and I would
It's part of
say
the
over
culture.
80. It's part of the culture, and you'll always have the market there. But you don't know what you could go get abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So if they would invest the time and a bit of money and resources to market outside of Italy, the potential is there. But
Definitely.
they're so narrow-minded, and it's not only Milan. Like, we're criticizing Milan, but let me tell you, there's other clubs as well that it's tunnel vision. They just focus on the immediate return of what they can get today in Italy, and abroad they just do a little bit of effort, but trust me, they could do a lot more.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? I like, besides the whole marketing thing, which I understand, there's money involved. You need to put in a lot of money, whatever. It's just a thing for the fans outside. Look, now I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say anything, but Rossoneri TV, a lot of you guys are not from Italy, and look at the interest that you guys have in such a channel that's English speaking. But even if it's not English speaking, what I'm trying to say is that there's definitely people out there that will be willing to pay a fee or a subscription fee, whatever it is, for Milan TV, an actual official channel where you could see player interviews, anything you want, really, and it's much more in depth. Of course, they get up to the minute news and so forth. I think that if it was available, even for a fee, a lot of people would pay for it. Of course,
I agree. You're absolutely right. And what I hope also in the future, other than Milan TV, if they do have this vision for the Serie A league as a whole to broaden their appeal abroad, there should be, for me in my case, an ideal service would be that I'll pay to watch only Milan games. So I go online, whatever it costs.
Mm-hmm.
Because do I really care when Empoli plays Crotone? No. So am I gonna watch that match? No. So why am I gonna pay to have all those other types of matches that don't draw my interest? So I'm very, very confident if a service existed like that,
Mm-hmm.
that you can be guaranteed to watch legally every Milan game. I'm sure there's a market for that.
I'm gonna tell you something, Marcello, because this is very interesting what you're talking about. And to be honest with you, in Italy there is already this.
Okay.
Sky offers it. This is what I remember from last season. I remember going on Sky's website, and there's actually an option. Now, I'm pretty sure this is obviously limited to the people living in Italy, but there's an option to buy a package for each team you want. Obviously, the major teams, Juventus, Inter, Milan. There's a package you could buy. I think it's
Okay.
don't count me in exactly on the price. Maybe it's 140 to 150 euros a season. But paying this package, you get to watch every single game for Milan, even if it's on your computer. It's in HD with no commercials, no lag, no illegal streams. But there is this opportunity in Italy already through Sky. I remember seeing it last year. The thing is, of course, if you don't live in Italy, then I don't think it's possible. Because I remember even trying to sign up in order to pay for it, because I would even pay for that. You know, it's not much,
Right.
150 euros a year. I tried going through the whole process, but it requires you to put all kinds of address and postal code informations from Italy and Italian residents. There's even some other various codes you have to put in. I don't remember exactly the whole process, but I remember it was just, I think, exclusively set for Italian residents. But
Okay.
there is this opportunity in Italy. I don't know if they still have it, but I remember seeing it last year. It does exist. And, if this is something that has already been done in Italy, why not put it on the international market for the future? That's
No,
it.
I agree. And if you look in North America, I know, for example, with the NBA, the MLS, and also Major League Baseball,
Mm-hmm.
they have these online subscriptions
Mm-hmm.
where you can buy access to all the league games, or you buy a pass for your favorite team only.
That's amazing.
So,
Yeah.
and I agree. I don't follow those sports extensively, and I never subscribe to any of these packages, so I don't know the details. But just the fact that something like that exists,
Yeah, it's out there. That's it.
you're giving access to the fans, and that's the whole point of this. The technology is there. It's just the motivation and the will to do it
Mm-hmm.
is not. And we hope, again, we got to keep pushing. And I just think the more we make noise, the more we let our opinions known to Milan, we hope that they will change. I'm not guaranteeing they will, but I'm just saying they have to cater to the fans' will if they care about the fans abroad, which is another topic for another day.
That's it. That's it. I think there's a lot of topics to discuss about Milan in general. But before we sign off, Marcello, let's see if any of the viewers have any questions for you in
Sure.
particular, or if it's for me, whatever it is. Just make sure to ask your questions on the live chat. Let us know if you want to know more details, maybe about something, or if you're hoping to see something in the future. Let us know as well. That will be very helpful, also to generate some sort of discussion for the next few minutes. But for example, there's a comment here coming in from Vinicius Diaz. He says, Milan TV should be an application for iOS and Android so people around the world can download it and watch it from home. And, we have already seen that. Marcello, us in Canada, of course, we're all about hockey. At least the Canadians are. But there is already services like that, like the NHL app, for example, where I think through Rogers, which is the TV company or phone company,
Yes.
you can watch games online on your app in real time, live. So there's definitely things already out there in the world. Milan TV, I think for the moment we should focus on them getting the service available through us on the browser, on the internet, and then further develop it on an application like on the iPhone or Android. But definitely, I think it will be amazing to see such a thing. I know Serie A actually have the application for phones, but once again, in order to watch matches on that, you have to be living in Italy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, and you have to pay for that on a particular individual price, right?
Right. And another side note for Milan TV, it was just recently the channel got converted to HD. So they baby steps. They got that done. Let's see if they go ahead with the next step to make it available that you can watch it easily online. So
yeah. Some people are also
Yeah.
saying, Afis is saying he thinks that these changes will only be focused in Asia with the new Chinese owners, where it is perceived that we have a large fan base. You think this is possible, or you think they will actually expand globally?
Well, that's a very good point that's brought up. I read something where there's some of the other big European clubs, for example, Chelsea, Manchester United, they have their own channel like Milan TV. And I believe in China, you can watch those channels already. And I know in Australia, they have that as well. You get it as a package. I believe it was Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United.
Yes, as mentioned in your letter. Yes.
Yeah, so, but the thing in China too, there was something. So if they go ahead and do that for Milan, it wouldn't be right to only focus on China. If you're going to go outside of Italy, you should make it accessible for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it is if it goes, if they do show it in China in the future, then I think it might not be a big step for global, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Already expanding outside of Italy, you know, and if they can expand to other continents after that, even better. But it will be already a step in the right direction. Now, a few people are also saying in their respective countries, they're kind of giving consideration of what they pay around in order to watch Serie A matches. Some people are actually saying in Switzerland you pay €5.50 for one match, and packages are also very expensive. In Sweden, on the other hand, Christopher is saying that there's a TV provider that shows La Liga, Serie A, Champions League, and Premier League. It's a pretty good price, and you can watch every Milan match. So I guess that's something like beIN, I would say. Because beIN also has the beIN Connect, right? That you can watch almost every game, but then again, you know, that's something that you would have to pay pretty expensive for.
Yeah, but just to clarify, there's beIN Connect, which is only online.
That's right.
And then you have the beIN Sports, which is only on TV.
That's right.
They're mutually exclusive, so it doesn't you could order both, but they don't come as a package.
No, that's it. It's
and online, obviously, you get more choice. That's why it's more expensive. I believe it's $20 a month.
Yes.
The online one.
Now, Kyle's asking a question. Do you know of any petitions we can sign? I guess he still doesn't, he's not aware of the petition that you created there regarding RAI. Where can we find the petition exactly, Marcello? Is there a direct link, maybe for easier access? Somewhere, or...
Yeah. Well, the easiest way is just if you go on Google and just put RAI Italia HD, you should get the result about the petition, which is on change.org website.
Yes. So, yeah, if you guys
just to clarify, that petition was only to request that we get RAI Italia in HD. It's not about Milan TV or anything else we discussed. That petition was just to get people to sign it and put pressure on RAI to upgrade the signal for us.
So if you guys, once again, you have to type in RAI Italia HD on Google if you haven't yet signed the petition. We're currently at 580 signatures there, which is very, very good. So if you guys haven't yet done it and you're interested in helping out the cause, then go for it. RAI Italia HD on Google. It's the first or the second link there. Change.org. That's the site. You'll see it right away. So if you're interested in doing that, there's all the information you need to know.
Another thing I wanted to mention, in case the viewers weren't aware, Torino also launched their TV channel, and it should be available. I think it started like 2 weeks ago. Also on Sky in Italy. So it's called Torino Channel. But even them, again, progressive thinking on their part to have their own channel. I don't know if it's available abroad, but I just wanted to mention, in case some people weren't aware, that even a smaller club like Torino is able to make their own channels. So if there's a will, there's a way, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good thing to know also. Like you could see, there's definitely some clubs in Italy that have a very clear mindset. I think they obviously see the future and what they want to do. Milan, unfortunately, it's always been a passo lento, like we say in Italian. Very, very slow. And I definitely hope that with the new ownership, these things will change very, very soon. If you don't have anything else to mention, Marcello, I think we're going to call it a wrap.
Just one last thing I wanted to mention.
Go for it.
There's been a lot of talk lately from other leagues, and there's going to be a trend going forward where you might have Facebook Live matches, which is going to be a huge game changer if they get to that point. So it's something to keep an eye out on and seeing what will happen.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I read that La Liga were already showing some games. On Fridays or something, they would show free games on their Facebook Live. I think it's amazing from what I read on Twitter. That's honestly, once again, futuristic. If that's a possibility, then definitely,
Because what happens too in that case, you wanna eliminate, or well, you're never gonna eliminate them,
no.
but reduce significantly the amount of illegal streams that are out. It's not good for the league to have all that content pirated.
That's right.
So there's a way they can channel the viewers on a legal way to the benefit of the league, because I'm sure they're going to get some revenue out of it. I think it's a smart way of doing business on their part.
There's just one more question that I find it's very interesting. YY is asking, didn't Milan used to have a channel called Milan Channel? What happened to that?
Yeah, so let me explain. Milan Channel was the previous channel, and they made some changes on the editorial side, and a new group took over the operation of the channel. So it's not actually quote unquote Milan employees and a channel that's owned by Milan per se. They actually outsource the production of it with the filming, the editing, and all that stuff to another company. And with that change, they went ahead to change the name from Milan Channel to Milan TV. It was a branding upgrade, if you will.
Okay, very interesting to know. So I hope that answered your question. Marcello, on that note, thank you so much for joining us today on Rossoneri TV. Also, very happy with your debut and what you brought here on the channel. I think it was very informative, and I'm hoping that a lot of people understood what is currently going on in terms of Milan, and not only Milan, on a national and also global level with Italia and Milan TV.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'll just, if anybody has any question, they can reach out to you, or they can send an email, info@milanclubmontreal.com, and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions people may have that they thought of after they stopped listening to this.
And just before you leave, Marcello, I think it's important to once again mention, obviously you guys see this beautiful flag in the background every day when you guys watch the videos, but there is a Milan Club Montreal, of course. If you guys do live in Montreal and are not yet members, there's also the opportunity of you guys joining the club. We have viewing parties, lots of things going on with a very big fan base. We're at how many members exactly now,
President? We're at 92.
92 members, guys. So that is in less than a year. So imagine what we were able to accomplish so far. Obviously, a big merit to the Presidente, Marcello. But I just wanted to tell you guys that if you do live in the area, there is this club that you guys could join, and I'm pretty sure, even if you guys don't live in Montreal, there's a lot of clubs out there, maybe somewhere closer to your city. So it's important to join these clubs if you guys want to join a community, if you guys want to share your thoughts with other Milanistas. I think it's important to do that. So just wanted to send out that message. Okay, Marcello, thank you for joining me, guys. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy today's video. And also, don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything going on at AC Milan on a daily basis. Thank you for watching. This has been Gio, and as always, Forza Milan!